You've probably been sitting there, staring at your phone, wondering why she hasn't called, why the person who used to blow up your notifications now acts like you don't exist. Maybe you keep replaying that last conversation in your head, the one where things felt off but you didn't know why. Maybe you told yourself she just needs space, but deep down you can feel it. Something's changed. If this is you, you're not crazy for caring. You're not weak for missing her. You just gave your energy to someone who didn't know what to do with it. Maybe it's been days, maybe weeks, and you're still checking your phone at night, hoping her name lights up your screen, because even a hey from her would quiet the noise inside your head for just a moment. Maybe this feels familiar. You try to distract yourself, hang out with friends, hit the gym, but no matter what you do, there's still that pull, that thought that she might text if you just wait a little longer or do the right thing to make her miss you. You're tired of pretending you don't care when you do, tired of acting like her silence doesn't hurt when it does. And the truth is, you're not looking for another random piece of advice. You just want to understand why she's acting like this and what will make her finally reach out first. So here's the question that's probably burning in your chest right now. What if there was a shift you could make? Not a text, not a game, but a mindset that makes her realize she's the one losing you. Most men mess this up because the moment she pulls away, they start chasing what's slipping through their fingers. They panic. They think if they just explain themselves better, text the right thing, or show her how much they care, she'll come running back. But that reaction, that need to fix things instantly, is exactly what makes her lose attraction, because it's not confidence she sees anymore. It's desperation dressed as effort. Here's the truth most guys never learn. A woman doesn't come back because you convince her to. She comes back because she feels the absence of your energy. When you stop reaching, stop over-explaining, stop trying to prove your worth, she starts to notice what she lost. That quiet strength, that calm certainty, that's what draws her back. You see, one of the core principles of masculinity is emotional composure. It's your ability to hold your ground when everything in you wants to react. Another is self-respect, knowing that your attention is valuable and not everyone gets unlimited access to it. When you operate from those two truths, you shift from chasing her validation to commanding her respect. She expects you to fold, to reach out, to prove yourself, but when you don't, when you stay centered, living your life focused on your purpose, she feels that void. That's when curiosity starts to build in her mind. That's when she starts thinking, what changed? Why isn't he trying anymore? The moment you stop needing her to respond is the moment she feels compelled to. That's the paradox every man has to learn. When your silence comes from strength, her instinct will be to break it. It's late. The room is dim, except for the blue glow of your phone screen. You've scrolled through old messages so many times the words feel engraved in your mind. The way she used to send a text first thing in the morning, the way her name would light up your screen and make the world feel steady for a second. But now it's just silence, the kind that hums in your chest and makes every minute feel heavier than the last. You tell yourself not to look. You toss the phone on the bed, stare at the ceiling, but your thoughts don't listen. Did she move on? Did I push too hard? Did she ever even care? You can almost hear her laugh echoing in your head, soft, distant, fading like a song you used to love. The world outside is still. You can hear the hum of the city, a car passing, the faint tick of the clock. And in that stillness, you feel something shift. Not anger, not sadness, just a calm realization that maybe you've given enough, that maybe the silence isn't a punishment. It's space, space for her to feel what you've felt all along. You sit up, take a deep breath, and for the first time, you don't reach for the phone. You let it stay dark. You let her wonder. Because deep down, a quiet voice whispers the truth. She will notice when you stop chasing. She will feel the weight of your absence more than she ever felt your presence. And when that moment comes, when her name finally flashes across your screen, you won't be waiting. You'll be choosing whether or not to answer. Most men believe that if they just say the right thing, if they send the perfect text, they can somehow flip a switch in her mind and make her come back. That belief keeps them trapped, staring at a screen, second-guessing every word, begging for connection through pixels. But here's the truth. Attraction doesn't come from words. It comes from energy. You can't talk a woman into feeling what she stopped feeling. You can only become the man who naturally makes her feel it again. She didn't ghost you. You disappeared from yourself when you lose your center. When you start chasing, over-explaining, and over-giving, you stop being the grounded version of you she was drawn to in the first place. You become reactive. You start moving from emotion instead of intention. The moment that happens, the polarity breaks, the connection fades, and she doesn't pull away because she stopped caring. She pulls away because she can no longer feel your strength. Another false belief is thinking distance is punishment, that her silence is a test you have to pass by proving your worth. But her distance is actually a mirror. It's showing you exactly where you've placed your value, outside of yourself. The moment you stop trying to close the gap and instead fill that space with purpose, she starts to feel it. The energy shifts. She won't text when you chase her. She'll text when you change your focus. The third lie is believing time fixes everything. Time doesn't fix disconnection. Awareness does. The time you spend waiting for her should be the time you spend rebuilding yourself. The quieter you become, the louder your absence speaks. That's what triggers her to reach out, not because you manipulated her, but because she senses the man she first respected is back in control. Silence isn't weakness. It's proof you're no longer begging for what's already yours. When you stop seeing her response as validation and start seeing your restraint as strength, everything changes. That's when her curiosity turns into contact, and her silence becomes the sound of your power returning. The 1% Headman doesn't chase. He doesn't beg, he doesn't argue, and he doesn't sit around waiting for validation that may never come. He moves differently because he understands something most men don't. That energy leads before words ever do. The way he carries himself, the way he breathes through silence, the way he refuses to fold under uncertainty, that's what draws people back to him. This is what he understands. You can't make someone value you by proving your worth. You remind them of your value by living it. While others spiral trying to make her miss them, the Headman simply returns to his center. He pours into his craft, his body, his vision. Because he knows a woman doesn't miss a man who's waiting. She misses the man who's becoming. He doesn't play games. He doesn't disappear to get attention. He simply reclaims his attention. That shift from needing her energy to mastering his own changes everything. It's calm, not cold. It's strength, not stubbornness. This is how he leads with presence, not pressure. When she feels that grounded certainty, she starts to remember what made her drawn to him in the first place. Not the words, not the chase, but the stability. The way he can walk away with peace instead of pain. The 1% Headman understands that women are not attracted to men who lose themselves for love. They're drawn to men who stay rooted no matter who stays or goes. He doesn't wait for the call or text. He becomes the reason she can't stop thinking about it, because his energy isn't seeking, it's magnetic. He sat there again, phone face down on the table, the silence so heavy it almost had a heartbeat. For days, he had been living in the same loop, checking, waiting, replaying what went wrong. Every vibration made his chest tighten. Every hour without one made it worse. But tonight, something felt different. The noise in his head started to fade, replaced by a strange, unfamiliar calm. He looked around, the same room, same shadows on the wall, but it was like he was seeing it all for the first time. He noticed his breath, the steady rhythm of it. He hadn't really breathed in days. That's when it hit him. He had made her silence mean something about his worth. Every unanswered message, every moment she didn't call, he'd taken it as proof that he wasn't enough. But maybe her silence was never about him. Maybe it was space. Space he kept trying to fill because he was afraid to face what it mirrored back. That he had forgotten who he was before her. A quiet smile crept across his face. Not pride, not anger, just recognition. He picked up his phone, unlocked it, and then, for the first time, didn't scroll, didn't check, didn't wait. He just set it down. He stood up, walked to the mirror, and saw someone he hadn't seen in a while. The man who doesn't beg to be chosen, because he remembers he already is. The silence didn't hurt anymore. It felt sacred now. Because he realized something powerful. He never needed her to call to feel whole. He just needed to return the call to himself. She will reach out, not because you chased, not because you waited, but because you finally stopped trying to make her remember what she chose to forget. You walked away with peace instead of pride, and that's what made the silence speak. When she feels your absence, she'll feel the man you became inside it, calm, certain, untouchable. The truth is, you never needed her text to prove your worth. You just needed to remember who you are when you stop begging for love and start embodying it. The moment you return to yourself, she'll come looking for you there.